Alright folks, now for the long-awaited how to fusion splice a piece of cable video. Yeah, you guys were asking for it. Remember, I'm a novice here, okay? I am no expert at what I am about to do. I just know how to do it and make it work. Here's the scissors I was telling you about, by the way. These are linesman scissors made by Klein Tools. Notice they do not have the Notice they do not have the extended long handle on them that really sucks. Should I do a retake on that? I don't know, whatever. So, these guys have strippers in here. They will cut through most cables. They will actually cut through pennies. This is how you actually hold them, because then you get all the force you need to cut. And if you need to strip something while it's in your hand, you can literally just put the wire through. And look at how easily you can roll these around in your hand. Just put the wire through them. There you go. Easy peasy. So, these guys are your best friends. These guys are for cleaning. We can get rid of this Jonard thing. This cable cutter. So, I'm going to use this patch cord because this is a typical piece of fiber optic cable, okay? So this is a, well, this is just a standard LC to SC UPC. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut this off right here. Oh no, everybody's going to, oh, I cut a perfectly good patch cable. Oh, I am so sorry. Alright, so the way that this works now is you need to get prepped a little bit first, okay? So we're going to take this here, and I will also do a close-up of this. I'm going to do this 2 times. I'm going to do this once, standard like this. I think I'm in focus. Let me just make sure. There we go. So I'm going to do it once top down like this, and then I'm going to do it again, but on close-up so you guys can watch it. So remember I was telling you in my other video, it sucks to get these slivers in your hands and your feet and wherever. This is supposed to have a little catch pin on it. But as a novice, I found this actually works pretty damn good. So, there's a few things you need. This is your cleaver. All this stuff that you see before you, this, my alcohol container, all came in the kit that I got from Signalfire. These bad boys here are splice protectors. I got these from fs.com. These are the premium ones. They are very lovely. The way that these guys work is pretty simple. Actually, I'll cut one open so you can see I will sacrifice one. Oh, I'm cutting open a splice protector. Oh, that's horrible. So inside, you've got a little piece of really hard spring steel. That is to reinforce this whole little assembly. Inside of that is a piece of heat shrink tube that is kind of hot glue-ish. I'm not sure entirely if it is actually hot glue or not. But when you melt this, it will shrivel up and liquefy, and then this outside piece of heat shrink squishes down on this, and it basically entombs the little joint in a melted red pool with this protecting it and make sure that you can't break the connection. Okay, so that's how that works. That being said, let's get our first piece out. So you want to make these a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to cut my buffer tube here. I'm going to get me a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of run on it. On the inside, you'll find more Kevlar. The Kevlar is a strength member. It's also, I think that there's a water factor to the Kevlar too. Some of it has a powder in it. These are your Kevlar cutters right here. Now, once you've got this open, let's see here. Yeah, that should be beautiful. You want to just get this just like so. You want to cut your... So that was a jacket. Now we're stripping off the buffer tube. Here we go. Oh, it's red. Isn't that pretty? And by the way, I am always working with single mode typically. I don't use multi-mode fiber. There are different types of fiber, of course. When you're in the field, you will typically be using single mode. Okay, so splice protector is supposed to go on here like so, but oh look. The jacket stops it. For that reason, you need to remove some more of the outer jacket because you need room. Now most of this stuff is done in a tray. You do this in a splice tray with your splice chips, and your protectors go in the chips. But today we don't have that because I am literally just showing you how to do these guys a la, you know, in the field kind of shit, okay? This is just basically how it works. And look, I broke it already. Haha. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm going to take off a whole ton of this. Take off a whole ton of that. Again, this is not an etiquette thing. This is basically just to show you guys how to do a splice. I'm going to take off a bunch of this. And I'm going to have to do this in bits because otherwise it will break it. So I'll take off a little bit there. Another little bit. Another little bit. We're just nipping it off, right? There we go. Oh, that took off a bit of the cladding. So now at this point I can also slip this guy over here like so. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to strip off a little bit more of the cladding here. So the cladding is the bottom hole. There we go. What else do we have here? Do we have enough? Oh yeah, I'm sure that many of you experts out there are going to be cringing at what I'm doing right now and be like, oh my god, that's terrible, you did a horrible job. Oh, sorry, I'm still a noob. Teach me how to do it. I'm showing my clients how to do it as I learn. So I'm going to get my Kim wipe ready. Get some ISO and just squeak it off. There we go. So now we squeak that off. I'm going to now lie this into the cleaver. And I'm going to set this at 0. There's little markings on here for you to pick your lengths, and I usually typically go at 0. So now I can drop that onto the duct tape right there, and that little horrible glass shard is now out of the way. You then take this and you insert it into the fusion splicer so that the glass there, the very tippy tip, is just about between the electrodes there. So that first piece is in place now, as you can see right there. I'm going to get the next one ready. Strip off a ton of this. There we go. And we're going to cut this with our Kevlar cutters. Notice how clean and easy that is with those guys. Now you want your splice protector on one side of this, okay? Remember that. You want that prepped. Because, well, you'll see in a minute. It just makes it easier, okay? There we go. We'll strip off some of this. Now we'll strip off the cladding. And we'll get our Kim wipe that's not covered in Kevlar. In a moment you will understand why this needs to be so sterile. Here we go. And there's different grooves in here for whether you're using the buffer tube or what. So be mindful of that. So I've got the buffer tube in here. There we go. Push the blade back this way. Close it. Push it back. It should cut itself. Now you just take that little piece, lay it in there carefully. There we go. Now you don't have to worry as much about getting a sliver. This piece here will go into the V-groove. So that's just in the middle there. There we go. And now, let's put the tail over here. And let's close her up and let her do her thing. There we go. So it's just going to line it. It does everything for you. See, it lines it up here. It does its flash. It's arcing it. And as soon as it's arced, it will do a tensile test to make sure that it's strong. And it'll show you the amount of loss right there. And this splice is 0.01 dB, which is pretty good. Now what I do is I hold on to the... I slide the splice protector up a little bit close. Kind of hold it there. And then I open her up while holding it down. And you can see the glass is now fused together. I'm just going to slide this over so that the splice is right in the middle. And then you lay this inside of the heater at the back. Close it up. Then you wait a moment. When the red light goes off, it's done heating the protector, the splice protector. And you're ready to go. And then you can stick it inside of a splice chip and you're ready. So there you go. There is a protected piece of splice. Oh yeah, pretty cool, eh? That's how you splice a cable. Interesting, no? So that's the basics. This is, again, all basics. I am not a advanced user yet. I'm still a novice. Now that we've done this, I will... See, isn't that cool? I'm going to cut it off. We're going to do this again, but up close. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you can actually see a little bit closer what I'm doing. There we go. So let's just bring my Samsung Galaxy S8 in closer. Make sure I'm focused properly. There we go. And it's good. Okay, so first things first, let's get the cable prepped. So I'm making these really, really long, just for the purposes of quick and easy, so you guys can see how this is done. So I'm going to get rid of the jacket. Jacket off. Jacket on. Jacket off. Jacket on. Why does it always have to be dirty shit inside of these movies? I mean, like, it's supposed to be hero movies. Alright. We'll get rid of the tube, the buffer tube. Oh, that one's tight. See, look at this. Oh, that's why it's hard to take it off in chunks. See a little piece of fiber there? So I'm just gonna... There we go, see? I would love to get a better camera for doing this, but $800 is not in the budget right now for me to spend on just a video camera. And the camera that I think I need is the Canon T7i. Okay, we go to the third hole and we clean that off. We get our Kim wipe here. Clean that. There we go. Then we go over here to the cleaver. And this one here, I believe, yeah, that one's for the buffer tube. So I'm just going to do that right at 0. Make sure the blade's out, close it up. There we go. And then I've got my piece of fiber right here. I'm just going to make sure that it's lying there in the electrical tape. And then you take your end. You can see the electrodes right there in the V-groove. So I'm going to do this side. I'm just going to lay that into the V-groove there, like so. Make sure that it's right centered, just about there. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's in there now. Now I get the other one ready. This one I'm going to put the fuse protector in it, so I'm just going to slide this back for a second so I can work. I'll take off the jacket. There we go. I'll just take off a little bit more jacket. There we go. I'll put this splice protector on here first. There we go. Now we can get this prepped. So I'm going to strip off the buffer tube. There we go. And now we can take off the cladding. Get a Kim wipe. Oh, that really stings when you get into wounds. Let's squeak that again. Wasn't that magic? Okay. And then we leave it. So I'm going to put this one in here. Alright, there we go. And we'll flip this guy over. There we go. Anybody else notice anything wrong here? Oh no, I can't fit it into the machine properly. So that's not going to fit. So it's buggered up. I need more jacket off of here. Here we go. Remember that. Here we go. Remember that. There's tons of better tutorial videos out there for doing this, but you guys wanted me to do one. I don't think I'm anywhere near ready to teach you guys how to do what I'm doing right now because I am still a novice myself, but here it is. I am making you guys a fusion splicing video. Here we go. Close. Take the dangerous little shard, stick it right there. ISO. Squeak. There we go. We've got our protector right here. Now we can move this guy aside for a moment. And yeah. Looks like the tip's dirty on that one, so that's kind of concerns me. It's probably going to reject it. Alright, so now I can push this guy aside. You should be able to see. Let's see if this thing's focused on that. You should be able to see down inside of here. I need a pointing tool. There's the two little electrodes right there, and in between are the two little strands of fiber optic cable that are inside the V-groove. When you close this guy up, I'm going to move this closer now so you can read it. There we go. Center this. So now if I close this, you'll see on the screen the whole process. So watch closely. So it blows it off. Lines them up. It looks at them on the little microscopic cameras. You see the flash that's fusing, and then it tugs on the cables like that to make sure that they're good. And then there you go, 0.01 dB. You can see it's a solid cable now. I'm going to put my hand right here to secure that. I'm going to take that like so, and we are going to slide this over. See, there's the splice right there. Slide that carefully over so that the splice is right in the center. That's a much better one, by the way. See that inside the buffer tube? We drop that in there, inside the heater, and we let it heat up for a minute. Yeah. Well, no, sorry. Yeah. No, yeah, it was preemptive. As soon as the red light goes out, you're good. Ta-da! Still hot, by the way. Warning. That really is hot. It's like really, really hot. It will burn you. But you can actually see where the this place is right there, and then here's the buffer tube and that. So neat, eh? So there is my video on how to fusion splice, like all of you guys wanted. Now, cleanup. This is just as important. I can't stress this enough. See these god-awful little strands of death? Well, they're not death, but they're horrible. They're just horrible. See, okay, so we've got our strands here all in the middle, right? Those guys are all stored in this electrical, or this duct tape, sorry, ducky tape. So, throw that in the garbage. Here we go. I'm just going to move all this stuff aside. I'm going to grab my waste bin, and this is all going to go in the waste bin. But, yeah, just remember that. Like, it really sucks getting pieces of glass stuck in your body. There are wives' tales that can kill you. If you eat it, yes, it will kill you. If you inhale it, yes, it will kill you. If you jam it into a major artery, chances are it will kill you. Can it kill you by getting into your fingers? I can't find anybody in history who's died from doing that, and so far, what I've heard is worst case scenarios if you get a perfect piece in there, and it makes its way into a capillary or whatnot, find its way through your veins, it can get into your heart or your brain and cause a stroke or aneurysm or kill you just outright. But realistically, the most dangerous thing about it is if, you know, you get it stuck in your finger, you're not getting it out. They can't MRI it, they can't scan it. It's not visible. It's a teeny tiny little piece of glass sliver that's been sterilized by isopropyl alcohol. And if you leave that little sliver lying around, it's going to get into your fingers, it's going to land on your socks, you're going to get in your feet. Be very mindful of your slivers and where they are, okay? Now, as for my kit. So I mentioned in my previous video that this is the kit, okay? What I got in my Signalfire case, let me up this a little bit. Boop. There we go. Focus. How do I focus this again? There we go. So I got this, the Fusion Splicer. I got my strippers. I got this cleaver, and by the way, the cleaver came set up. I didn't have to adjust this or calibrate it or do anything. It literally worked perfectly straight out of the box. Okay? I got this little container of ISO, but I had to put the ISO in it, obviously. These scissors you can get at your local hardware store. If you like the ones with the stupid extended handles on them, good for you. I don't. I like them like this, and it's actually getting harder to find these ones specifically. These will actually cut through pennies. They will cut pennies. They will cut 14-2 cable. They will cut literally just about anything. I mean, like I don't think I can. Do I have a piece of cable here? Actually, you know what? I know exactly what to show you guys. Flat drop. This is the fiber to the home cable. What's this? You gotta work at it. They'll cut through the fiberglass, and as you can hear, they self-sharpen, they eat it. So this will cut the fiberglass rods on this, it'll cut the Kevlar. These guys, you can get them anywhere. I get mine at fs.com. Brush to clean things. That's basically all there is to it. So there's your little tutorial, a basic crash course on how to splice fiber optics cable. And just remember, duct tape. Okay? Anyway, signing off. We shall catch you later. Bye-bye for now.